In 1961 and 1962, there was an enormous amount of tension between the United States of America and the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics. And during the Communist Revolution, the old Cuban government was overthrown. Cuba had a new leader, Fidel Castro, a communist dictator. Just 90 miles from Florida, the U.S. had to do something about this communist dictator. They set up Operation Mongoose, a plan to overthrow Fidel Castro. What happened because of this is known as the failed Bay of Pigs invasion. This invasion was made up of about 2,000 exiled Cubans trained by the United States of America. It also consisted of an airstrike on Cuba's military airport. The invasion was doomed. Cuba had moved its planes out of its airport and had a huge defense force waiting at the beach. The CIA later dubbed it the perfect failure, for it was too small to be blamed by the U.S. Later, in June 1962, Cuban leader Fidel Castro requested nuclear weapons from the Soviet Union. Soviet Union leader Nikita Khrushchev eagerly accepted, for it greatly improved the Soviet Union's nuclear strike capabilities against the U.S. On October 14th, 1962, a routine U-2 spy plane flight over Cuba revealed nuclear missile bases. The CIA analyzed this data on the 15th and informed the president on the morning of October 16th. For days, President Kennedy discussed this situation with his executive committee, a committee of the president's top advisors. They came up with two solutions. The first solution was to all-out invade Cuba. The second solution was a more subtle one that created a blockade from Soviet ships reaching Cuba, and then demanding that they take off the nuclear missiles from Cuba. On October 22nd, President Kennedy told the public about the situation and about his decision to blockade Cuba. On October 29th, Nikita Khrushchev said that he would take missiles off of Cuba as long as the United States took their missiles off of Turkey. President Kennedy accepted the terms of this agreement and took his missiles off of Turkey. Khrushchev took his missiles off of Cuba, which ended the 13-day crisis.